Hey gang, and welcome to what is now episode number 25 of Hollywood Hills. And even though we have gone into this crazy world of lockdown again, I don't think it's going to be a long one this time around. Please. I think we're still going to be able to go racing in the month of August. It does look like MSA have put out a notice that says pretty much all the national and regionals have been squashed for July. But, keep your chins up. There's going to be school holidays for the kids. Guys can still go training, still take advantage of this time to go and do a mid-season rebuild, get some new fresh kit, because we are going to go racing very soon indeed. With that in mind as well, I hope you guys have been enjoying all the shows we put out. 2 weeks ago, we did the first show from GXCC round number 4, and that was a focus on the juniors and the quads, where we start to see those championships really light up going forward into the second half of the season. And then just now, last week on Friday, it was all about the pro motorbikes, which really ripped up the track, and everyone came back with just awesome feedback about the Fenterstorp venue. Can't wait to go back there again, because I think it's got even more to give. This week's show on Hollywood, as you've noticed, we've started to do this year for 2021. We give you a third show. It goes into a Hollywood episode, and this is the support class focus of the top 5 pinners coming out of the support classes. That's OR1 ProAm, OR2 ProAm, OR3 ProAm, the Wows, and the ProAm ladies. This is for you. Pro-Am classes were nervous coming into this round. Everyone knew that they were desperate for all of those points, especially coming out of the big fast one that was round number 3. This was the cold one, this was the tight one, and this is where potential championships could get decided. Out of the big bangers, everyone was chasing down on the Rooster. He just about avoided the chaos that was turn number 1. He didn't get the big hole shot, but he was in the mix inside the top 3, doing what he had to do, keeping his nose clean on the big 500. He wouldn't get to stretch the legs. It would be a hard day on the big monster. On the OR2 Pro-Ams, Bradley Burrell and Vernon Nordia were elbows up, trying to break away from the pack. An incredible number 2 spot coming out of Gerard Pretorius as well. Put himself up there on the 2-4 racing machine, his highest gate for the season. Mudman was the man once again on the OR3 Pro-Ams. Bust himself a little bit loose and wide though, and would have to pick himself up to come from the back of the pack. Remember, Mudman trying to nail down this championship for the season as well. Bar-wise was there with Stephen Smith, and then off the Wow Gate. Not too many riders going out the queue this time around. They would, for the most part, tag a 3-lap racing format. Remember, all of our Pro-Ams and Wow day licensed races go out on the same track as the pros. The Wows saw 3 riders eventually make it all the way to the finish line. 2 Hondas, the first of those being Sorrel Moret on the W49. Tough day out riding, but even these guys came back with positive responses for the awesome layout of the track. A great day riding bikes with your buds. Johan Ritchie was up there inside of a number 2 spot, enjoying his time. But we have a new star. We highlighted this kid at round number 3, where he did an incredible job on one of the oldest 2-smoker Hondas out there. And Teek Harrower goes 2 for 2 as your Wow champion at rounds 3 and round 4 back to back. We've got to get that kid on a big bike. He's going to be a slayer. And then in the Pro-Am Ladies Gate, Shelly Tyler, also a new signing for the 2-4 Project Squad, got herself her best ever GXCC ride to date. She's a busy girl as well. She is out there on motocross, off-road and enduro. Up the road from her was Danelle Delport, who has seen constant improvement, and she should be challenging inside the top 3 for the championship as well. But she's going up against her good friend and stable teammate coming out of the Franchise Co. CIT squad. Shady Chrobler backs up her incredible ride and taking the number 1 spot at round number 3 with another win at round number 4. She is your championship leader. Chrobler then on top ahead of Delport and Tyler, and in the Wild Bikes, Harrower goes 2 for 2 on the tour. Into the men's Pro-Am gate, starting out with the little bikes, the two Fiddies out of the OR3s. This time around, great riding saw Francois Cheeseburger Smallburger Jr. getting the job done inside the top 5 once again. He is standing out as one of the top pinners. I'm tagging him to move up into pros for 2022. Up the road was Janus Janssen, who has put together a stellar championship so far in 2021. He remains inside the top 4 for the championship count as we fly towards round number 5. Mudman, after a hole shot, made his life hard going all the way to the back of the pack, had to plow the field. There was simply not enough time and not enough laps on the day to see the top step. Third place, though, should keep him in the championship hunt and on the top step as we head to the second half of the tour. Mudman is still the guy to beat on the OR3 Pro-Am gate, but on the day, there were two dudes up the road from him, and they will make hay while the sun was shining. Stefan Smits, who had a real good gate, ran a number 2 spot in the early stages, is bringing home a solid championship performance. But since stepping off his old Yami and onto a slightly newer KTM, it is all about Andre Barwise. He is starting to climb the ladder, and really, he is going to be the guy that will potentially challenge for the championship. If he brings home wins for the rest of the tour, it's going to be a close run thing. Confirmation of the results then coming out of the OR3 Pro-Ams. Barwise takes his first win of the tour at round number 4 ahead of Smitty, Magado, Janssen, Smallburger and Blake. Pienaar just outside of it this time ahead of Van Heerden, Duplessis and Alexander. OR2 Pro-Ams, these guys do not hang around. Butter Hennings gets his top finish of the season with a solid number 6 ride. Battled on lap number 1, but his lap time showed that he got quicker as the race went longer. Lincoln Lutz has always been running inside the top 5, and once again he brings it home. Gavin Young was up the road in a number 4 ride. Standout ride for Young as well, his best of the season at round number 4 at Ventersdorp. The top 3 pinners, though, this time around. Stoffelberger really gelled well with the technical layout of the Ventersdorp terrain. Third place also set up by a brilliant lap number 1, staying well out of trouble. For the Rubine Racing squad, Vernon Nordea is definitely one to watch for the championship. He sits inside the top 3 as we go forward to the second half of the tour. And Rubine Racing looking to walk away with a ton of silverware in the 2021 tour. Just one guy up the road, and he is a safe bet to move up into the pro categories. Brad Burrell has been the winningest rider on the tour in the OR2 Pro-Ams. And remember, if you're the champ, then you are a pro the following season. Bradley Burrell's lap times show that he would potentially challenge for a top 6 if he lined up against the pros. That's tasty. Here's confirmation of the top 6 then, with Burrell on top ahead of Nordea, Berger, Young, Lutz and Hennings, with Van Gool, Visagie. Then Chris Harmser takes his top finish of the season in 9th ahead of Gerrit Pretorius. Big bangers, but it's 450 power or 300 smoker power on the OR1 Pro-Am gate. Different flavors this time around, as we saw a few different names squeak their way inside of the tippy top 6. 5th place went to Emil van der Westhuizen, with Jacco Smith doing the chase down, and then Werner van Heerden. Incredibly enough, and especially at this round, for some reason, we saw a ton of blue smokes. That's 300cc 2-strokers running well inside of the top 5. Werner van Heerden was trying to be the top smoker. Looks like he did a good job of it as well to run inside of a number 3. The Rockstar Husqvarna helped him out in the tech terrain for sure. Up the road though were the big dogs. These guys muscle the 450 and 500s around like no one else, and that's why they are the guys to beat, running 1s and 2s in the championship. Dennis van der Merwe, his efficient riding style once again bringing home the bacon and cementing his number 2 spot in the championship. But that just meant that it was this guy on top once again, the winningest rider on the OR1 Pro-Am gate, looking for his first ever title coming the end of 2021. The Rooster was on fire once again at Ventersdorp, and he brought the big 500 to the flag. He is the man at the moment. Rooster on top once again, ahead of Van der Merwe with Van Heerden, Smith and Van der Vestes, and all three riders taking their best results of the season, ahead of Nienaber, Gregory and Fenter.
So that's it for now. So really what we're going to be doing now is just holding our breath and waiting for the big green light to go racing once again. Next week, we are going to sign off on the Goon Wagon. There's been a few shots leaked out there on social media already, but we've obviously got all the footage. We've got the original, the teardown, the rebuild. We're going to give the high five to all of the partners that came on board. So watch out. Hollywood number 26, that's next week, Monday, will be the big unveil of the Goon Show. And we'll go in depth and tell you exactly who was involved, how we got the pieces together, and what the finished product is like. So tune in on next week. It's Goon Show time.